Good afternoon and welcome to Orphan Car Garage. My name is John. This is our YouTube channel. I'm located in Abington, and that's in the state of Massachusetts. We're about 30 minutes south of Boston here in Abington. It's a beautiful day here, warm and sunny. It's a great opportunity to roll out yet another orphan car for you to enjoy and maybe purchase. When the war ended, when World War II ended, the automobile manufacturers really had to scramble to come up with new models, because really all they had was warmed over versions of the cars that they had prior to the war. So a Pontiac in 1947 was really not much different than a 1941 Pontiac. Until 1949 came along and GM started to introduce new vehicles. The new vehicle that Pontiac introduced is in front of us here. It's a Pontiac Chieftain from the year 1950. It's first generation of the Chieftain model, again introduced in 1949. Here we have a really sharp four-door version. It says Silver Streak on the fender. Maybe one of you can explain what that means. I looked it up and I couldn't find the designation Silver Streak on any of the Chieftain models for 1950. But I'm sure one of you Pontiac aficionados out there can explain that to me. I know the Silver Streak was a model of its own prior to 1950, but this car is actually labeled a Chieftain or titled as a Chieftain, yet it says Silver Streak on the fender. So I'm a bit confused there, and hopefully one of you can help me. Regardless of that, we have a very nice, clean, extremely low mileage example here to offer you. This car has had one repaint of its original color. I believe this was called Warwick Gray. It could be sand gray, but I think it's Warwick Gray, and it's a repaint of the original color. Everything else, much of the rest of the car, is completely original. It's a really nice survivor. Excuse me. Pollen is at its highest here. Right away, you notice that super cool hood ornament. The Indian head hood ornament on this car. It lights up. There's a bulb in there. Really cool accessory on these cars, and it is so equipped. The Chieftain was not a high-end model, yet look at the chrome. Lots and lots of chrome on this car. It has the optional brush guard here, bumper guard, grill guard, whatever you want to call it. The chrome overall is in very good condition. It's original. There's some minor patina on it. It could use a nice polishing. This car's here on consignment. I'm helping a family sell this car for their dad who passed away. So we did a clean on the car. We got the car running, but it's up to the next owner to bring it to the next level. We're selling the car as is, which actually is pretty darn nice. But again, the chrome could use some polishing. You can see some patina there, but I think a lot of that might come out with some compound and some polish. There's a lot of chrome there to polish, so. And while I'm at it, I'll show you, there's a dent right there on the chrome grill as it turns the corner of the fender. But there's very little to complain about this car overall. You're noticing not only the hood ornament, but some really other cool accessories as well. The super cool sun visor would have been an original accessory on this car. The spotlight, it's a GM issued spotlight. That would have been a correct accessory for this car. Fender skirts, wide white wall tires. This is a real jazzed up model. There is absolutely no rust on this car whatsoever. The undercarriage of this car, believe it or not, is cleaner than the top surface of this car. And the top surface is pretty darn clean. You won't believe the pictures. Check out my website, orphancargarage.com, and look at the undercarriage of this car. It's absolutely pristine. Car also has backup lights, which is pretty unusual for 1950. We go around the other side, you see it's just as nicely presented over here. The repaint was a very high quality job, still holds up very, very well. I guess this would be the Silver Streak. That streak of silver down the center of the car. Both the hood and the deck lid have that. In case you missed it, we'll go back one more time. Very cool, distinctive feature that Pontiac used right into the mid-1950s. I had a 56 Chieftain here about a year or two ago, and it had these as well. I think 56 might have been the last year it was used. Just a real pretty car. Get inside now and we'll show you its originality. Unbelievable. Door panels are original, all four of them. The original upholstery in here, and it's in outstanding condition. Seatbelts were added at one point. These look like maybe 1980s edition, but they're nice to have to put the kids in the back seat, take it to a car show or ice cream. The original carpeting is still in the car. You can see there is some wear on that carpet, but it's original from 1950. This really cool pull rope back here for taking those hard corners. The headliner is in decent shape. There's some minor staining up there over the passenger front door. But overall, very, very presentable. And again, original. This is an original interior car. Excuse me once again. Driver's door panel. Some minor staining here. That's about it. There's your handle for the spotlight. Front seat, original as well, and seat belts is also added, as obviously in the front as well. Original upholstery up here, just absolutely outstanding. Original flooring with some wear on the driver's side. They used a rubber floor mat covering in the front, but carpeting in the rear. That was not uncommon in this era. But you can see there's some wear. So that could use to be replaced or leave it because it's original. The dashboard in this car is so cool. That big round radio speaker with a clock in the middle, that clock would have been an accessory as well. Glare-proof guide mirror. I don't know if you can read that. So that's a day-night mirror that's also a dealer accessory in this car. This car is pretty loaded up for Chieftain. A lot of people ask what this is, and it says guide, so it's a GM-issued accessory. This allows you to see the red light or the traffic light when you're at the front of the line at the traffic stop and you can't see the light because of the sun visor. This allows you to see the traffic light beyond the sun visor. Very, very cool. So yes, a low mileage car, 34,298 miles. That is been said to be original miles, and I believe it, judging by the condition of this interior. The title we have, we have a Maine registration for this car, and in Maine, the registration acts as your transfer document. It's almost like a title. And that Maine registration states that the actual mileage on this car is 34,298. Also, the family that I bought the car, family that I'm consigning the car for, said that their dad always said that that was original mileage. I have absolutely no reason to disagree. A heater with an underseat core. It's like a radiator core that's under the seat. It's an early version of heated seats. I don't know if we can see it here on the camera. See, there it is right there. That is the heater. And it happens to be located under the driver's seat. Pretty ingenious. It's an early version of a heated seat. All the gauges work. I'm going to start the car up for you and show you the engine bay. Then we're going to release the price. This car has a 3-speed manual column-mounted transmission with a 6-volt ignition system. Turn the key and push the button. Sometimes this takes a couple times. There we go. Full disclosure on this car. This car was sitting. This car had been sitting in a garage on the gentleman's property for several years, not being driven. So we got the car running with fresh battery. We cleaned the points and replaced the spark plugs. But you're going to want to go through this car. It's been sitting for a long time. It's running off its own gas tank, but the gas in that tank is probably at least 4 years old. Go show you the under hood now. Nice running flat head, straight 6. 239 cubic inches, I believe. You could get a V8 in this car, a straight 8 in this car, but this particular example has the 6. There we go. Very original under here as well. Brand new battery. Brand new AC Delco spark plugs. If I was going to keep this car, I'd probably put a new cap, rotor wires, maybe brand new points in it. We topped off the fluids. It's a nice running car, but like I said, you're going to want to go through this car before you start driving it regularly. Those tires are probably pretty old. It's just a very nice survivor. I hesitate to use the word survivor because the car's been repainted, and to me a true survivor is an original paint car. I'll be the first to admit that, but there's so much originality to this car. I have to call it some sort of a survivor. No smoke out of the exhaust at all. Again, check out my website, orphancargarage.com, for all the pictures of this car. The undercarriage you will not believe. You will not believe the undercarriage of this car. Door panel on the passenger side. The passenger side floor is much better than the driver, obviously. The original owner's manual is even still in the glove box. So cool, with a light. Just such a neat car. So there you have it, our 1950 Pontiac Chieftain. Here only at Orphan Car Garage. Check the gallery of photos out on the web. Give me a call, 508-954-8090. Be asking a very reasonable price on this car. We want someone to get this car and appreciate it and maintain it and save it the way the last owner did. He owned it for a very long time. He purchased it out of Illinois at the Volo Auto Museum out there, probably about 20 years ago. Drove it out here in Maine, the state of Maine, only to various car shows locally. It's had very little use over the past 20 years. Nicely preserved. Orphan Car Garage pricing on this 1950 Pontiac Chieftain is $10,900. Just $10,900 to get into the classic car hobby. Everybody will think you paid twice as much. Yes, it might need a little tinkering, maybe a little bit of a tune-up. Don't call me and ask me if you could drive it home back to Tennessee. I wouldn't suggest that. You're going to want to go through this car. Although I have driven it quite a bit around here in the lot. It shifts nicely, the 3-speed manual. The clutch works fine. The brakes seem to work fine. I still would like somebody just to go through it before they start using it regularly. And I need people to understand that before purchasing. Priced right, $10,900. Give me a call, 508-954-8090. And again, check me out on the web, orphancargarage.com. Like me here on YouTube. Of course, subscribe. I always have cool, affordable stuff like this in the pipeline. Find me on Facebook, yada, yada, yada. Until next time, I appreciate all the support. Thank you.